2 years ago, I had $100,000 debt, yes, minus bank balance. And now I became a millionaire. Quote unquote, American dream came true for me. And it didn't happen just like that. I had to go through so many challenges. In this video, I'll be sharing my journey, what I've done in this 2 years to become a millionaire. And also at the end, I'll be sharing 4 simple steps that I took that helped me become a millionaire. If you follow them, you can become one too. So stay tuned. Namaskar, welcome to my channel. My name is Aditya Soma. I'm a real estate investor and real estate agent and owner of Vincity Real Estate Team. And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss a content that helps you for investing and sales. So like I mentioned, I'll be sharing my journey for becoming a millionaire. But first of all, just I'm not coming from a rich family, not even close. I'm born and raised in a small village called Padkal in India for a farmer's family, lower middle class. My parents always struggled, worked really hard to just put food on the table and give us a good education for me and my sister. And as a kid, I remember so many days so vividly, where my dad was in Dubai, didn't know why he was there, working hard jobs, never see him for 7 years. And my mom in my grandma's home because we didn't have a home. And I'm in a boarding school because my dad wants me to get educated no matter what our financial situation was. So one thing in that days, always, one thing I heard from our family was like, we don't have money. Money was the biggest problem that we had. Trust me, till 2020, in September, till that date, we had always a debts in our family, like from my childhood. Even like, some situations that sometimes, when I recollect, gets tears in my eyes. When I was kid, when I was in like 4th grade, I asked my parents, can I get a bicycle? They said, no beta, we cannot afford that. And I asked in 7th grade, same answer. 10th grade, same answer. At the end, I gave up my, the dream of having my own bicycle. And in 8th grade, once my school was taking for an excursion for a trip to a bigger city nearby from our school. And I asked my mom, can I go? It's like 500 rupees, but same answer, beta, we don't have money. That's too much, just come home. Those are the situations that really made me think that why are we in this situation? So first of all, my dad was well educated, but not financial education. It's more like, he's a very hardworking person, but he didn't have that financial education that brings real money and, where we can have a financial freedom. So that was the biggest motivating factor for me to find answers. I've been like, in my college days, I always used to wonder how to make more money. And when I came to Canada, same thing. So fast forward, I came to Canada in 2012 as a student, and my dad borrowed money from family, from friends and relatives to send me here. And even fast forward further, it took me 4 years to pay back that money after coming to Canada. In 2016, subconsciously the financial pain was always there. And I was always looking for solutions, trying different things. In this process, one book that changed literally my life, it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Literally like that book, I don't know why, I never read books, but for some reason, I picked up this book because I heard from a kid in a place where I was like, doing some part-time gigs. He said, this book changed my life, and you must read. I'm like, until then, I never read a book because books were so boring for me. And I'm like, this kid is saying that this book changed his life. So let me give it a try, because I was trying everything. Why not try reading this book? So I read this book literally once I started the book, the whole weekend, I completed the book. I couldn't stop reading because I can recollect so many things that, difference between my dad and I know an uncle who, have a solid like financial base. Literally that story has recollected me. Oh my God, we didn't follow some financial solid important steps in order to have that freedom to have time with family. So the biggest lesson I learned from that book was you always need to have assets, not liabilities. Assets will give you freedom, liabilities will take freedom from you. I'm like, no one ever told me that. So first of all, no one even told me what's asset, what's liability. I always thought, if you have a house, if you have a car, that's asset. But Robert Kiyosaki in this book says that, no, that's totally wrong. If you have a house, if you have a car, you're paying payments for that, then that's not asset. It's taking money from your pocket. An asset is something paying you money every month, no matter whether you work hard in the farm or anywhere, whether you do something or not, this is paying you money every month, just like real estate. Then he talks about multifamily and all those things. That's when, boom, like literally the mind opens up, and like I could not stop thinking about real estate now. Then I started literally Googling, investing in real estate in Canada. And then I found a book, another book. Now, because I have no idea what's real estate in Canada. I was living in an apartment paying $650. That's all I knew. I didn't know how the house looked like inside. I didn't know anything. But this desire, this pain from my, childhood, I want to get rid of that pain by doing something. So that's when the real estate came into picture. So fast forward, 2017, March 1st, that's when I purchased my first property, but with a clear intention that I want to make this as an investment, as an asset, not a liability. That's a really important step that I took. At that time, I didn't have any money because I was just completed clearing off my debts. And good thing, I had job. So the biggest lesson from the book, and also like, in general, the real estate, is you can leverage money, you can borrow money from other people like banks, in partners and all those things. So I'm like, okay, how can I borrow money for my first property? So I found out that in Canada, you can get 95% mortgage. So that means if you're buying a 100,000 property, the bank will give you 95,000 and all you need to bring is 5,000. That's exactly what I did. My first property was 102,000. So my down payment plus I took money from the bank for improving, because for 102 you can imagine how the property condition was. It's so bad. It was like 1-bedroom unit and a 3-bedroom unit. It's a duplex. So I lived in 1-bedroom unit. I renovated the 3-bedroom unit, and again at this point no idea about any renovations. But one thing, I'm so stubborn. Like I used to go for networking events, meeting people, made so many friends who are locally investing, buying properties, doing renovations and all those things. So just asking recommendations, hey, do you have someone who can help me with this? So just through that process, my good friend actually was my realtor at that time, Cassidy. She had a contractor, so she suggested me that, took help from that contractor and fixed the property. Thank God, rented for $1,500. That was paying all my expenses. I'm like, this is crazy. Let me do more. So for next 6 months, I saved more and again purchased another property in 2017 September. So within 6 months, now I own 2 properties. And at this time, my wedding was planned and my sister's wedding was planned. this is where another financial hit, where I have to help my family because they work so much hard for me and I have to pay back. This is just a tradition in our family where we help literally for all the marriage things for daughter. So I have 100,000 expense coming up soon for her wedding. So now I'm like, where do I bring more money to buy more real estate, because I want to buy more. So fast forward in 2018, February and March, we got February, I helped my parents to get my sister's wedding. So I went into the debt, and at the same time, like I was reading, networking, always finding about from other people how they are doing, all the what are the ways to make more money. So another way that came up is you don't have to have money. You can find partners who has money, and you bring the energy, you bring the deal, you take care of the deal, so you can split the profits. So I was talking to a few friends. Finally, one friend said, I'll give a shot with you. I'll give you 40,000. Show me what you can do. We bought one property, and the next one. So in 2018, by April, we purchased another 2 properties that are going well. Thank God the market also continued to appreciate. And I'm like at a point where the real estate makes so much sense, and the time that I'm putting in, I'm getting the rewards. I was like, why do I need a job? Why don't I supplement my income? Why don't I increase my income so I can buy more real estate? So that's when the thought process started to come in, because I have that 100,000 debt. So in order to get out of that 100,000 debt, by buying a cash flow properties that are making like 200, 300 is not going to help. And my job is not going to help as well, because I'm making like 4,500 something after taxes. And from that, my car payments and some, food and everything, after everything, probably I'll be saving like 3,000. So 3,000 into another 30 months. So at least it will take 3 years to pay off my 100,000 debt. I'm like, I don't want to wait that long. That's when I started to look for different options again to make more money. So this is when I decided to get my real estate license, and this is when I started YouTube channel sharing about my investing journey so far. So that was another turning point in my career, because real estate is something that I really enjoyed, finding good deals and either renovating and renting them out or selling. So I got my real estate license in January 2019. This is exactly when I still had 100,000 debt. But good thing is I haven't stopped buying properties. So with my partner, even though I didn't have money, I find partner. So we bought, like, by the time we had total 5 properties, and with some education knowledge and YouTube channel. So that gave me enough strength. I was so fearful because now my big income source is gonna go off if I quit my job. But I was like, you know what? If I don't take a chance now, when? I don't want to regret when I'm 50s or 60s thinking that I wish I should have quit my job and went in all in and do the 100% best. So I was like, okay, let's do it now. It was so painful for a few days, like I couldn't sleep. Only my wife knows how bad the situation was, like how bad I was. But one thing, I never lost hope. I never stopped reading books. I never stopped networking with people. I never stopped trying my best. So quit my job in January 31st was my last day. February 1st, brand new agent. And fast forward this 2019, 2020. So now we are in 2021, exactly 2 years into the game. I sold over 170 properties, made just $1 million gross income just from the sales. And along this way, always I'm buying properties. So first year where I as a new agent in 2019, I didn't qualify for mortgages. And my partner, he had money, but we don't qualify for mortgages. So got a pre-construction where I don't need to get a mortgage right then. And then got another property, vendor take back. And then later on, bought a 17-unit building, duplex, and so total so far the portfolio I have 11 properties. So after taking my partner's cut out, after taking all the expenses out, if I sell my whole portfolio right today, I'll be having $1.75 million. Yes, that's my asset value. And you know, it's a lot of sacrifices. I'll put it in a summarize, you know, to give you in a very simple steps what I have done. Because this is what, it sounds so simple, but here's the 3 super important steps that I took along this way. Number 1, believe in yourself. No one is gonna believe in you except you. Because, you know, for me, being in Canada, first of all, so fearful. I don't know anyone. I don't have any family here to help me, or I don't know anyone that, you know, that made a good money here in Canada. So I was so scared, and even my family didn't understand what I'm doing. My friends didn't understand what I'm doing. So they always used to say, like, even my mom one day told me that, Beta, why are you not talking to us? Why are you just running for money? Money, money, money. Money is not everything. I want to like shout and say that, Mom, money has a significant role in life. Because of money, we never spent time together. Because of money, my dad had to, you know, go and work freaking labor jobs in Dubai. Because of money, I don't have some small things that has a kid. So only one who will be with you is yourself. Just stay strong with your beliefs. Yes, you can make this. Doesn't matter if any of your family haven't made a financial freedom, that doesn't mean you cannot do it. You can for sure do it. I'm believing in you. So you start believing in yourself. Step 2, make money. Make as much as money possible. If you have a job, continue to work. If you can get extra hours, take it. If you can find side gigs, you know, if you're a good software developer, go find other small projects on Fiverr.ca or wherever where you can make extra money. I used to drive Uber. I used to do different things to make extra income. So do whatever it takes to make extra income, because the more money you have, the more money you can put to work that can produce your results. So focus on that. Step 3, now you're making this money, right? If you're making like 10,000 a month, but you're spending 9,000 on your home, on your car, other expenses, then no use. There is no point even making that much money. So you gotta save. When I was working as a software job, I was saving literally every penny. In the first few years, I lived in the basement. Even though I was working as a software developer, my rent was like $300 in the basement and sharing, not even like separate room. And you know, later on, like I didn't had car. I purchased car when my wife came to Canada. That's when, you know, I need to have to drive few things. But long story short, save as much as possible, everywhere possible. If you can rent your rooms to make some money, to cut down your cost, if you can rent a unit in the basement, or if you can live in the basement and rent upstairs, I don't care what you do. You gotta save a lot of money. Now, step number 4, you're believing in yourself, you're making money, and you're saving. Now this money, the saved money, you got to leverage, invest into real estate, invest into stocks. That's what I do. Again, I'm not a financial advisor to tell you where to invest, but in my experience, what I'm doing, I invest in real estate, the rental properties that pay for themselves, if possible pay extra $100 or $200 cash flow. So asset, it's not taking any money from my pocket. I purchased all these rental properties. Right now I have 35 units, doors that are working for me. Doesn't matter, even if I stop selling properties in next few months, I still have this money coming in, at least pay my expenses. So you gotta invest, and I'm investing in dividend stocks too, because I have RRSPs, TFSA. I'm taking advantage of that. So the more money you make and more money you invest within short period, like literally this happened in 3 years. I started my first property in 2017 March. So literally just 3 years, my asset value grew so badly because one, the market appreciated. Number two, the rents, my tenants paying my mortgage every month. While we are talking here, my asset value is increasing little by little. Even if like, $500 a property, 500 into 10 properties. I'm just simplifying very simply. That means every month my tenants paying down my debt by 5,000 at least. So that's very simple numbers, but just if you follow these 3 simple steps, trust me, anyone, no matter what situation you're in, you can become a millionaire. And overall, you gotta know why you're working all this, why are you doing all these things, right? So for me is that pain I don't want to go through. I don't want my future family should suffer for that, and my mom and dad should come out of that. Now I give a financial freedom for my family. My dad and mom now coming to Canada. My dad was here, and now we're gonna spend time for a long run. We're gonna travel. I can go back home whenever I want to. That's a freedom I get because of the financial stability that I created. So you got to define why you're doing, then you will be motivated to do it. So that's my millionaire journey story. Hope you liked it. Let me know if you have any questions, what situation you're in. Is there anything I can help you with? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed, if this video gave you a solid confidence, hit that thumbs up button and feel free to share it to your friends who might get benefit from this, and check out the other videos. Until then, see you in the next video.